My understanding that you've been coming up with a interim solution or a pilot project that you're getting ready to propose to Trenton.
Yes, yes, we are. It's a short term. Well, I like to say we have a short term, mid-term, and long-term solution to this. And specifically, we're looking at Crescent Cove because seemingly it's the worst cove on the lake as far as the numbers go. So we have a methodology and we have a formal proposal to treat the blue-green algae and the cyanobacteria in a way that will mitigate it. And I've been told that after this treatment, Crescent Cove will pass all the state required tests for cyanobacteria. And aside from that, it will probably clear the water up a little bit. So I'm asking the state to work with me on the short-term, mid-term, and long-term solutions to help Crescent Cove be clean and pure, and so people can enjoy it. And that also means better weed management in the cove. And we can do that various different ways. Sometime by changing the schedule on the weed harvesters, which, by the way, haven't been harvesting near as many weeds this year as previous years. And also, as I proposed in previous years, the introduction of truckaway grass crop, which is a natural solution to the weeds. And what we're trying to do really is get our lake back into balance. Now, I've spoken on this issue numerous times, and ecologically we're out of balance, and we need to try everything we can using natural substances and natural processes to do this. And so the proposal really talks about treating the bad bacteria with good bacteria. It also has to do with oxygen and putting oxygen back in the water. We seem to be deficient in oxygen on parts of the lake. And all these pieces of the puzzle are part of what's causing our blue-green algae bloom to be worse this year than every year. And I believe that if we don't do anything, it's just going to get worse and worse every year. Nature has a way of doing that. It's kind of the path to least resistance. So if the environment or the ecology is so that the bad bacteria have the upper hand, then this is not going to stop, not going to go away, unless we try to use engineering methodology and biological methodology to bring it back into balance.
Great. And can you give us a brief overview of what's in this pilot project plan?
Well, the pilot project really is making Crescent Cove the model. And so that being said, we're going to look at every piece, every increment of what makes this cove the worst. It leads to there's storm drain issues that we have to address, us and the state both. We are in the Hopatcong of the entire west shore of the lake. And so we're mostly affected. We have the most beaches, by the way, than any other town, simply because of our history, of our, we go way back to the 20s and 30s, so we've always been a resort area. And so, so one of the issues we're looking at is how to start this treatment and take the first step. The first step is to do something. And so what the state have told us, and very accurately, is that we've tested the lake. It doesn't pass our minimum requirements for cyanobacteria specifically, and don't go into water. But that's all that's pretty much all they've done, and to me that's not good enough. So I'm proposing a pilot program in Crescent Cove to establish a model that you can use in the rest of the lake a piece at a time. Because interestingly enough, the lake is many coves, not just one big lake. And so if we can get one cove to be clean and pure, I think that we can use that methodology on the rest of the lake, a piece at a time.
Fantastic, great. Now, it's my understanding that the 4 mayors have actually started to meet regarding the issues of the lake. Can you give us any information on your meetings and what's developing out of there?
Well, the 4 mayors are interested in the health of the lake, for sure. And so we're looking at longer term plans and to address the issues in the lake. We're looking for help from the state to help us do this. And we all have our own ideas respectively, but at the end of the day, we're all looking for the health of our lake. Every mayor without exception is working very hard, including the Lake Foundation and the Lake Commission. We sit down on a regular basis and talk about what we can do next. Of course, I have my own. I'm a little bit more vocal, and I want to try a model. The state asked for a demonstration model, and I gave them one. And so my expectation is that we look at this and maybe we can help every town.
Great. And also, Hopatcong is 70% septic tanks versus sewers. Is there any changes that you're thinking about coming up with in the future that would change the septic to sewer ratio?
Absolutely. And my first, and I'm been very public on this, I would very much like to put a sewer line down Hudson Avenue. There's approximately 50 homes there. They're typically small lots. And if I can get the help to do that, I think it would be the first step incrementally to increasing the health of the lake and also making our sewer utility more effective to serve the public. I know people get nervous when you talk about sewers and sewer rates, but my proposal is not the legacy proposal. If we do that, it will be funded through federal and state money, and maybe a little bit of our money, but mostly federal and state grant money, infrastructure trust money.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Mayor, very much for informing us of what's going on around our community and what you're doing for Lake Hopatcong.
You're welcome. Thank you.